Hey there, my name is Marley and welcome to my booktube channel. Today's video is going to be my February TBR. Every month I make a TBR video just talking about my reading plans and sort of manifesting what I want to read during the month. So February is a slightly shorter month, so I feel like this TBR is a little bit shorter as well. But there's definitely some really exciting books on here that I'm very excited for. So starting off, for some reason, I mentioned this in my January TBR, even though the book does not come out till January 31st. So obviously I wasn't really going to be reading it in January. I'll be reading it more in February. And that is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare, which I do not have in my hands yet as I'm filming this before it's released. But this is the third and final book in the Last Hours trilogy, which is one of Cassandra Clare's many Shadowhunter series. So really excited for this. And yeah, so this is actually going to be more on my February TBR. Also, every month I do a reading vlog and I never reveal the theme of it, but this month you can probably guess what the theme is. But I'm going to read 3 books for a little reading vlog. The first book for that I want to read is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is obviously her most recent book and the follow-up / sequel to It Ends With Us. Did I say it starts with us or it ends with us? I don't know. I meant It Starts With Us. This is following our main character, Lily, after the events of It Ends With Us and follows more her relationship with Atlas, for those who know the story. If you don't, I'd be shocked, to be honest. But if you don't know, like, the first book is about this girl named Lily who ends up meeting this guy and having this romance with him that turns dark. We're also seeing flashbacks to like her very first relationship, her like teenage love, and it's this whole drama. It does deal with domestic violence. So this is like the follow-up to that. I feel like I've been hearing not the best things, which I'm not shocked about. I've read more Colleen Hoover books than most people. A lot of people are just getting into her in the last couple of years because of book talk or whatever. But I know Colleen, and she always does this where she writes kind of unnecessary sequels to her books. Probably, you know, a cash grab. Rarely are they that good, so I'm not really shocked to hear this one isn't that amazing. But you know, I've read the first one and it was one of my favorite books by her, so I'm gonna check it out. Next up, I want to read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This was a very popular romance book from last year that I've been dying to get to. I feel like I can't remember a ton of the plot off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's called Part of Your World because it's a little bit like a take on The Little Mermaid, where it's about 2 people from totally different worlds. I'm gonna say one of them is like from the city and one is from a small town in the country. And I feel like I'm down for that kind of trope because I did grow up in a small town and now live in the city. So I kind of like reading about, you know, 2 people coming from different places like that. And I think there's an age gap. There might be fake dating. I can't remember all the tropes, but I just know this was one of the best romances from last year, according to many people. So, and then the third book for that video is going to be Shipwrecked by Olivia Dade. I am really nervous about this one. It's the third and I believe final book in the spoiler alert series, which I did not love the first one. I liked the second one quite a bit more, but I have not been hearing great things about this third one. But basically they are all romances that have to do with like fandom culture, because it always deals with one of the actors from a show that is similar to Game of Thrones and then them falling in love with like a fan of the show or something like that. There's always plus size rep as well. You know, there's some good things about this series, but not my favorite. But I'm a completionist, so I know I just have to finish out the trilogy and read this third one. I quickly glanced at the description. It seems to be about 2 actors that we've been hearing about in previous books, but we haven't been hearing too much detail about their love life from what I remember. Like, I feel like you can't remember them that well. I think it's about these 2 TV actors' relationship. It honestly does sound like the worst one in the series. Okay, then I would love to read Heat Wave by TJ Klune. This is the 3rd book in the Extraordinary series, which is one of my favorite YA fantasy series. I really love it, but I haven't got to the 3rd one yet. I can't even remember when it came out, but it's been a while now. But this is a superhero series about this boy who loves superheroes and he ends up wanting to become one, writing fan fiction about this certain superhero, and then actually meeting him. There's romance, there's really good like queer rep as he is gay. I didn't mention the main character. Just really fun and probably one of the better YA series. Like even adults could read this and enjoy this. It's really fun. Next, another book. It's shameful I have not picked up yet. I might try and squeeze it into January, to be honest. if I can. But that's 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. If you know me, you know I love the Good Girls Guide to Murder trilogy. It was a like thriller mystery series about this teenage detective, and now this is Holly Jackson's first standalone outside of that series. And it's about this group of friends who get in some sort of car crash, stranded on the side of the road kind of situation, and then they are just trying to survive, and I think there's someone who is trying to kill them. So this sounds like all of those fun thriller or horror movies that I love to watch like on Netflix and stuff, just with a group of friends stranded somewhere, camping, whatever, and they start getting killed and have to like survive. I love those tropes, and so I'm really excited to see what Holly Jackson does with it. I really trust her, and I've heard good things so far about this, so potential to be one of my favorite books of the year, I think. Then, as always, I have a book club with my friends, but we have not picked the book yet, so TBD on that. I'm probably going to suggest one of the romances for the book club that I'm already reading. And then finally, if I can get to it, I would love to read A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. If you've been keeping up with me, you know I've been reading all of her books, and I've really been enjoying the ACOTAR series. So this is the 4th book in that series, but it's a little bit different because our main character is Nesta, and the main romance is Nesta and a certain person. Maybe I won't say his name, so it's not spoilers. Probably everyone knows, but it's more focused on their relationship, and I think you still see the other characters as well. So I really like Sarah J. Maas's writing in this series. I don't love her other books for some reason, but this series really connects with me. So I'm excited to finish it off. This is the only book I have to get to in this series that's left. I assume she's probably coming out with more because she doesn't know when to stop, but once I read this, I will be caught up at least on this series. And if you don't know, it is a like adult fantasy series about fairies and basically all these like fairy politics and love triangles and romances and things like that. So that's my little TBR. Let me know if you have any thoughts below, or let me know what romance books you're going to be reading for Valentine's Day. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!